Look in the sky. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it Superman? No, it's not. It's just a Chinese wind-powered turbine that is an airship. Yeah, to generate energy for us. We're saved. China has saved the day. Wow, their technology and their innovation is quite out there. What can I say? It doesn't look very attractive, does it? It looks like it's made of latex or some type of random rubber. It looks in a way almost like some phallic sort of type of object. Can you imagine? You don't know it's up there. You're down on the sky. You're looking up, to check out a bird that goes past, or, you happen to just be looking up in the sky and you see this thing up there and you're like, what the hell is this? And the sun's reflecting off it. It might be doing some weird maneuvers because it is subject to the wind, or it might not move at all. And you're like, what the hell is this? And your government hasn't told you that these type of things might be present in your upper atmosphere. I think it would be quite alarming that they haven't told us. But China has invented this. Yes, they have. High-flying wind power, the airship that doubles as a turbine. And there's the turbine part there, I'm assuming, where the wind gets sucked in. Or does it get drawn in? How does it work? Because it's got a fan and it's also looks like it's got a turbine on it. How does that work? But then it's going to tell us. I'm sure they'll tell us. But it looks very, very... looks a bit like something out of Elon Musk, SpaceX, with his rockets that look very phallic. And I don't want to see a big phallic symbol up in the sky. Thank you very much. No. Okay, so they're just saying that we've got other ways to generate electricity that, are reliant on the environment, wind turbines, solar panels, and all these type of things. And now that they're doing this proposed air power, wind power turbines that has been an idea since 1833, a long time ago. That's nearly 100 years ago. Well, that's over 100 years ago. Wow. I need to check my history. That is a long, long time ago. But I still don't think that this is a good idea, because what's it going to do to the birds and to the wildlife? I know birds don't get up that high, but, is it going to be used for nefarious purposes? Are they going to have spy technology on that, cameras? Are they going to be all these type of sensors on there so they can actually see where there's life forms down below? Is this going to be used, as I said, in not to create energy but to spy? You've got to think we've got this digital ID stuff coming all around the world. Some countries have already got it out in place, and here in Australia it's supposedly meant to start on the 10th of December, which is not that far away. And I don't want to be tracked and traced like a microchipped pet. I didn't take any of the COVID jibby jabs, and I don't think I will take the digital ID. I don't want to be involved with any of that type of business, thank you. I'm an individual, and I don't like what they're trying to do to us. But anyway, let's have a look. You can read most of this yourself. It's full of helium. It's a light gas. This airship is filled with light gas. Sounds like the Hindenburg, doesn't it? That exploded and burnt and everybody died.
This is the L-129 Hindenburg, a luxury airship of Germany. It was actually a giant gas balloon filled with highly flammable hydrogen gas. The airship could carry about 72 passengers, which had private cabins, lounges, dining room, a bar, and a smoking room. Yes, a smoking room, but was safe. Flying at 16,500 feet, it offered great views. But on May 6, 1937, while landing at New Jersey, a spark ignited the entire airship. Some passengers jumped to their deaths, others were burned. In total, 35 out of 97 on board perished.
I had to throw this in here because sometimes you have to go back in history to try to predict the future. And think of all those Chinese spy planes over America not that long ago.
It burst into flames. It's crashing terrible, bursting into flames and it's falling.
The Hindenburg disaster of 1937.
This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world.
After completing its 23rd Atlantic crossing, the German Zeppelin attempts to land at Lakehurst, New Jersey.
400 or 500 feet into the sky.
With the nearly 100 people on board, you would think none could have survived.
The glory past all the humanity.
Think again.
bursting into flames and it's falling on the morning fast, and all the folks agree that this is terrible. This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world. This is the worst thing I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, hydrogen or helium to stay afloat, operating at high altitudes, allows them to capture stronger and more consistent winds. Wow, there we go. So this is how it works. So we've got the generator, which looks like a wind-up toy, doesn't it? Looks like a little wind-up toy that you spin it around to get your little pedal car going. And you have rotational energy, an udder, or rudder, sorry, the sail, and this is where it's all going to go. Wow. Okay, so the wind comes in here, and it makes it spin around. It's like one of those whirly-burlies that you used to get at the show. There were these multicoloured, wind flowers, and the wind you'd blow into them and they'd spin around. They'd spin quite fast. And as a young girl, I was fascinated by them, and I thought they were amazing because they were so sparkly and they didn't have any energy used, many different colours, and you could stick them on your bike and you could drive around on your bike with this wind. Oh, just, the joy of being a child, which unfortunately in these days, nobody has anywhere to put their children's bikes. Nobody has safety on the roads to allow your children to ride their bikes. And we don't have backyards where children can go and play with these type of things anymore. So unfortunately, today's children have lucked out and are the worst. Sadly, are the worst prepared children for their own future. They haven't been given a backyard to play in, to experiment in, to put up their own little tent or create a little village, create a little dam in the backyard. Even, God forbid, you have a situation like what happened with me and my poor darling Charlie when he passed away. I didn't even have a backyard that I could bury him in. I had to get him cremated out of respect because there was nowhere to bury the poor boy. And I'd had him for 16 years. I had a right, and he had a right, and I had a duty as his owner and his lifelong friend and caretaker. I had to look after and respect him. And yes, I have his remains here, which is very, very sad to say. I'd much rather think that he was, in the ground, still running in the fields, still having grass on his little paws, than being in a little box sitting on my cabinet, which really doesn't really do any good to anybody. But yeah, so this thing here, it's got a transformer, and the power goes to batteries. There you go. It's got a winch, a transformer, and to power a grid of batteries. And that's where the energy goes. Wow. So it's China's record-breaking prototype. So the S1500 prototype, according to its developers, generates up to 30 times more energy than existing airborne models. The unit weighs about 1 ton. So if this falls out of the sky, if something happens and it hits a plane or something, or one of Elon Musk's rockets, or one of the other rockets that are being set off willy-nilly all over New Zealand, now here in Australia, happen to go up in the upper atmosphere, and they get a bit dysfunctional, and they have they go off trajectory, and they get caught up in the wind as well as this turbine thing. Can you imagine if they hit each other? You just got to hope and pray that your house is not underneath, or that nobody's house is underneath, because it's going to come down.
Come on, ladies, get a Skylab helmet
Skylab was the astronauts' residence during America's longest manned space flights in 1973 and 1974.
The space station, which is about as big as a 3-bedroom house, is in a crisscrossing orbit over 90% of the world's population, including Australia. Skylab will be travelling around 340 miles an hour, spreading wreckage over a corridor 100 miles wide and 4,000 miles long.
If in the final 6 hours an impact on Australia is judged to be possible, the warnings will go out from here on Australia's radio networks.
In America itself, Skylab fever's taken over as newspapers offer awards for parts recovered or insurance against being hit by the falling spacecraft. There's even an anti-Skylab medicine on offer. It's never failed yet, the makers say.
They called her Arabella the Space Spider. Actually, Arabella was one of several student experiments on Skylab. The question raised was, can a spider spin a web in the absence of gravity? The answer, as you can see, was yes. This Buck Roger-like backpack was also tested. The well-dressed spaceman of the future may very well get about like this.
Some 150 tail-like meteor objects flashing across with a noise rather like an express train.
No, I reckon it's a bit foul of the septics, really, to drop it on the stray. I think they probably did it deliberately.
Gotta love the Aussie. Basically he's saying they're full of shit.
I don't think it belongs to the Yanks, do you? I think trying to escape it in this country.
And it's going to come down with a thud. And it's going to be very, very, very bad. So let's hope that they have some safety protocols in place to make sure that that doesn't happen. Because it's no different, I suppose, to the satellites and the cube satellites that they have up there in the sky. But anyway, this concept is similar to the project's goal, to earlier projects. The goal is to attain higher, steadier and faster winds that blow across land or sea, thereby significantly increasing generation efficiency. Wow, they've got it all lined up, haven't they? They have such good word salad saying all this stuff. And they go on about this, blah, 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 blah. The challenges. Despite the promise it shows that technology faces notable technical challenges, stability must be maintained against sudden gusts and pressure changes. Energy, what about electricity? Lightning hits it. What happens then? Because it's all... But anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm foreseeing things that aren't going to happen. But you've got to worry about these things. Nobody thought that the Titanic was going to sink. It was the unsinkable ship until it hit an iceberg and then it sunk on its first ship, on its first journey, its first voyage. So, I can imagine this going up here and hitting something and something going awry. What about all the military planes that are zipping around everywhere? I don't think anyone's going to be paying attention to some big blimp up in the sky, because basically that's what it is, it's a big blimp. Safety is also critical, requiring non-resistant mooring cables and advanced electrical control systems. Wow. So it has a good potential, but I don't know about this. And that's why it hasn't been rolled out. Oh, the LEADER generative AI. So it's not even a real picture. It's friggin' AI. This is an AI image. So this is not even real. It's AI. Excuse me, it's AI. They had to put that in, didn't they? They had to let you know that this is fake. This is all fake. Looks like a big submarine, doesn't it? And it's all fake. Wow. This is doing my head in, actually. I'm not very impressed. Offshore turbines. What's this got to say about things? Oh, this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. And the way it's put in here, look at the grids everywhere. This is almost like it's a surveillance thing. It has nothing to do with electricity. It has to do with surveillance. It's like we've got grids over the whole planet. They've got us in our little cages. Okay, this is in California. Wow. I don't really like any of this. The type of energy could overtake offshore wind by 2030, according to these estimates. Who are these people? Day. Oh, it's in a language I can't read. Sorry, if anyone can read this, is it Spanish, is it? What language is it? Is it Spanish? Or is it French? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's not German. Okay. Shall we have a look at this?
España y el mar. 10.000 kilómetros de costa. 1 millón de kilómetros cuadrados de aguas ricas en biodiversidad y recursos productivos. Y además, fuente de energía sostenible. Un país líder en economía azul y potencia renovable. Capaz de unir ambos liderazgos frente a un nuevo reto. Ser faro mundial en el desarrollo de las energías renovables en el mar. Eólica marina, undimotriz y energía de las corrientes, entre otras. Disponemos de centros de pruebas y plataformas de ensayo en condiciones reales con proyección internacional. Somos pioneros en proyectos de undimotriz y el primer país en soluciones tecnológicas de eólica marina flotante. Casi un tercio de las disponibles en el mundo en 2022 tenían sello español.
Okay, I'm not going to play any more of that because unless you can speak Spanish, it's pretty pictures and that's about it. But I'm not very happy about any of that, actually. What an eyesore it is. And what about when they fail and all the oil and all the lubricants and everything leak out of the actual device, out of the equipment, and it gets into our beautiful, pristine waters. And, or God forbid, it falls down and it kills some animals. It pollutes the land, and it's going to pollute everything. Pollute the oceans. Look at it. That looks bloody stupid. It looks ridiculous. Looks absolutely ridiculous. Now, when was it? Not that long ago. I went past a whole heap of, wind farms, and none of the turbines were going round. They were stationary. So, yeah, they worked so effectively, they didn't spin at all. If they get all clogged up and they don't have any, backup generator to get them going, they don't work. You've got to start them first. It's like when you have to pull start your lawnmower. Sometimes you can't. You've got to prime it. You've got to pump the fuel into it, and then you've got to, give it a few quick, pulls, in fluid motions. And if you're not tall enough or strong enough, you won't get the bloody thing started. And that's exactly the same as these things. They need to be turned on. And once they're turned on, they might get a little bit of, energy coming into them, but not enough to justify putting them into the ocean like this and destroying our beautiful planet. No way. This is all lunacy. This is bullshit. This is all garbage. But anyway, I think I've said too much. Yes, I think I've said too much. But that's okay. Godspeed to all. Godspeed.